Okay, for today's notes, I'm going to be working questions 7 through 10. And I see questions 7 through 10 here. It says, order the sides of each triangle from shortest to longest. So it's talking about the sides, but I'm only given the angles. So I'm given the measurements of the angles, but this thing is asking about the sides. Interesting. Let's take a look. Yesterday for our lecture, I was using the program Sketchpad. So let me use that program Sketchpad again. So I have a triangle here, but I want us to be able to measure the sides. So I asked Sketchpad, can you please tell me the measurements of the sides? And it gives me the measurement of the sides. And I'm like, okay, well, also I'm going to be looking at the angles. Do me a favor and measure the angles. And just for you guys to see that these numbers are not just set, if I change my points, there's some values that do change. You guys see that the segment AB does not change if I move this point right here. Why? Because the segment AB is not changing. So why would the value change? Hmm. What if I change point A? The one value that doesn't change now is the side BC. Okay, so I think you guys believe me that these are actual measurements. Okay, one thing I want us to see, let me look at the sides here. Which one is the biggest side? I'm comparing the sides. 16.32, 18.54, and 21.91. I'm gonna say that's the biggest side, right? The side is BC. It's the biggest side. Okay. Now look at the angles. The angles are the numbers on the inside, by the way. Here's the measurement of angle BAC, the measurement of angle ABC, and the measurement of angle ACB. Which angle is the biggest? I think we can agree is 77.58, right? Cool. There's one cool thing about here. One really, really cool thing. I want us to point that out. Let me erase this real quick. Okay. So we said, let me highlight in here. We said this side is the biggest side, and we said this angle is the biggest angle. Interesting. Interesting. The biggest angle is opposite from the biggest side, which means it's far away. That's what opposite means in geometry. The biggest angle is opposite from the biggest side. Hmm. Does that work with the smallest angle and the smallest side as well? Well, which one's the smallest side? 16.32, right? So I'm going to say this right here is the smallest side. Which one is the smallest angle? I see 77.58, I see 55.75, and I see 46.67. Well, this is the smallest angle, right? Interesting. The smallest angle is opposite from the smallest side. So we know that the smallest angle is opposite from the smallest side. The biggest angle is opposite from the biggest side. So given the measurements of the angle, I should be able to find out which side is bigger and which side is smaller. So looking at question number 7, I have to go from shortest to longest, right? So starting from the smallest, look at your angles. Which one is the smallest angle? Well, 25 degrees, right? Which is the corner C. Okay, so the smallest angle is opposite from the smallest side, this side. See how I highlighted in red? Okay. Now, when we name a side, we must use two letters. Which two letters make that side? We can either call it side DB or side BD. So DB or BD. The order does not matter. I'm going to call it side DB. So I'm going to type in DB. That's for the smallest side. Matter of fact, on your homework, you're going to see two commas and then some spaces in between. Okay. So I found out that the smallest side was the side DB. Again, you call it BD, it's fine. As long as you use those two letters. Make sure you use capitalized letters. No spaces in between. Just DB together. Okay. So that's the smallest. What about the medium side? Let me go. I'm going to choose a green one here. I'm gonna say 51 is the medium side. So the medium side of 51 is the medium angle. So the medium side will be the side CD. And then for the biggest angle is 104. So the biggest side will be the side CB. I don't know how big are each of these sides, but I do know which one's smallest and which one's longest. All right, having that said, let's take a look at number 8. Which one's the smallest angle? Well, 30 degrees. So that is opposite from the smallest side. So my smallest side will be DC. And I see commas there. Okay, which one's the medium angle? Well, 70. So the medium side, right? That side that's opposite from the medium angle is the side CB. Remember, for sides, we use two letters. And lastly, the biggest angle is 80 degrees, opposite from the side DB. So the biggest side is the side DB. You guys call it BD instead. I call it DB. You guys call it BD. Fine. We're using the same two letters, so order does not matter. About question number 9. The smallest angle here, it is 24 degrees. So that is opposite from the side BC. Good. The medium angle here, it is 58 degrees. And that is opposite from the side DB. And the biggest angle here is 98 degrees, which is opposite from the side DC. Again, I don't know how big are each of these sides, but I know which one's shortest and which one is longest. And obviously which one's in the middle. Lastly, let me take a look at number 10. I know my answer has 2 commas and then some spaces in there. So for the smallest side, I look for the smallest angle. The smallest angle here it is 32 degrees. This angle is opposite from the smallest side, or the shortest side, which is the side WU. Capital letters. WU or UW. You're fine. You're good. Doesn't matter which order you go. Medium side is 57. And that means the medium angle is 57. So that means the medium side is the side WV. Capital letters all together. Lastly, the biggest angle is 91 degrees. So the biggest side, which is opposite from the biggest angle, the biggest side is the side UV. Pretty cool.